As soon as we bought our cabin, we knew we needed to redo this main space first. For decades, this was used as a vacation home, and now we're using it as our full-time home. As you can see in these Zillow photos, it's just a little bit cramped and dated. So let's change that. First, we need to open up this wall and create a larger space. I was definitely most nervous about this step of the process. As I'm sure most of you know, you never know what you're gonna get when you start opening up a wall. We saved all this original wood for future projects and started ripping up the floors. We're hoping we could save them, but there is just absolutely no chance. They are in terrible condition. So on with putting up the support beam for this new open wall. And our team got right to work putting it in place, and voila. In our kitchen, we actually had an extra door going down to the basement. You can see it here. We decided to close it off for this project. We really need to use that extra space for pantry space, so goodbye stairs. Next, we added some insulation to the kitchen because it actually never had any before. Onto the floors, it's time for some new ones. Since our cabin was so dark, we actually ended up going with a lighter oak, which was a huge mistake in hindsight, but hey, here we are. In a continued effort to bring more light into the space, we decided to add a couple hi-hats in the living room ceiling, as well as painting the walls white. We didn't want to paint everything solid white, so what we ended up doing was sanding the roof and actually whitewashing it to give it that nice contrast against these solid white walls. And now onto the kitchen cabinets. We ended up going with this beautiful inset dark green because we wanted to bring some of the color of nature inside the home, which shout out to my husband because it was one of the best choices we made in this entire renovation. The wall where the stairs once were are now becoming this beautiful set of cabinets that we can really use as a pantry as well as hold our fridge. The rest of our cabinets continue to be this dark green, and all of the outer cabinets are topped with this beautiful dark brown butcher block. Our ice maker cabinet has a perforated brass insert for airflow, which we absolutely love. As far as the center of the kitchen, of course, we have an island, which we're putting this wood paneling to mesh with the larger living room walls, and this beautiful waterfall counter. Concrete sink was the absolute inspiration behind this, as well as this beautiful brass fixture, which we cannot wait to watch age over time. The way these materials work together makes me so happy. But now we have to tile. Use this neutral tile that has a little bit of variation in depth, but as they were tiling, we noticed it looks a little weird not finishing the entire wall. So that's exactly what we did. We took our tile and completely tiled around our door, but before we did that, we had to replace the door. We ended up salvaging this 1800s double Dutch door from upstate New York. Everything really started to fall in place as soon as we started getting all of our appliances in, which were on massive back order. Adding a flush mount hood was probably one of the best choices we made in this kitchen because it allowed our original vintage windows to shine and not distract from it. These beautiful lights were actually here when we purchased the house. You can see that in the original Zillow listing here, and we wanted to refurbish them for our kitchen island. And oh boy, did they shine up absolutely beautifully. I love these so gosh darn much. I am so excited to watch these copper lights age, but this time with our family over the years to come. Okay, enough of the backstory. Let's get to the actual point. Let's see how this all came together. My goodness, honestly, we could not be happier with how this kitchen turned out. It feels homey, it feels modern, it's absolutely stunning, and most importantly to us, we picked hardware and metals that will continue to age with our family and share the stories and times that we spent here. I really don't regret much in this kitchen. The only thing I do regret is the flooring choice, like I said. If we could do it again, I wouldn't do that one. But everything else, we are absolutely thrilled with how it came out, the overall vibe it evokes, and truly just how beautiful it is while still paying homage to the original cabin footprint. I am just so happy.